Alive and Well STL is a presentation of the St. Louis Regional Health Commission with the first decade review of health status report to build a healthier St. Louis, and RareGem Productions. Power up with the positive. Learn more at oneraregem.com. That's ONERAREGEM.com.
Support for Alive and Well STL comes from Beyond Housing, helps entire communities become better places to live. Learn more at beyondhousing.org.
The Regional Health Commission works in partnership with regional health sector advocates and stakeholders to improve healthcare access, reduce health disparities, and improve health outcomes for the uninsured and the underinsured in St. Louis City and County.
Alive and Well STL with Bethany Johnson-Javios, CEO of the St. Louis Integrated Health Network.
Today we're talking about the health risks of obesity and the positive impacts to many areas of life that controlling your weight can have.
Nobody really dies of obesity. They end up dying of diseases that are caused or highly related to obesity, like heart disease, hypertension, stroke, heart attacks. So we're looking at about 32% of city residents and 31% of county residents who have hypertension, about 35% of city residents and 37% of county residents having high cholesterol, and we're looking at about 27% of all deaths that were reported in 2010 were related to heart disease. So obesity is really taking us down. If people become more concerned about obesity, they can reduce their risk of these things. If they exercise more or even just become more physically active, if they eat more fruits and vegetables instead of high-fat foods, if they decrease their use of alcohol, if they stop using tobacco products, you're more likely to have a healthier life.
We'll be right back.
What does it mean to you to be alive and well in St. Louis? We want to hear your story. Tell us what it means to you personally, what you need to achieve it, how our program may have helped, or even some of your best recommendations for the rest of us. You can share it on the message box at 314-333-8369. You can send an email to info@oneraregem.com. You can even post it on Facebook at ONERGP or on the Hallelujah 1600 page as well. We'll share your message with our community to help make it possible for everyone to thrive. It's great to be alive. Be alive and well, STL. 10 a.m. Mondays on Hallelujah 1600. RareGem Productions proudly presenting the positive.
So, as usual, we always start off the show with asking our guests, what does it mean to you to be alive and well in STL? Angela, please go first.
I guess it means to be alive is to be healthy, to be happy, and to be blessed with the life you've been given.
For me, it means to be trying to take advantage of all the healthy opportunities that St. Louis has to offer, and to find that balance of work and life in St. Louis.
Alive and Well, STL.
Good morning, St. Louis. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Bethany Johnson-Javios, CEO of the St. Louis Integrated Health Network and host of Alive and Well STL, sponsored by the St. Louis Regional Health Commission. Today in studio, I'm excited to be speaking with Courtney Jones, Health Services Manager, and Angela Buchanan, Public Health Nurse, both joining us from the St. Louis City Health Department. Thank you both for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Angela, tell us about your role as a public health nurse. What does that mean?
I provide education to the community about health issues, anything that involves health, weight loss, getting physically active, ways to screen for cancer. We talk with daycare providers. We give help for schools to kids, immunization. So anything involves in keeping people healthy, keeping kids healthy in St. Louis, that is my role, is to be the educator, to be the person to help them out.
Is that your role and your passion?
Yes, it is.
So why are you even in this business? Why do you do this for a living?
Because I really like helping people. I really like educating people about their health and giving them the opportunity to stand up and to make those choices for themselves, to change their life themselves, not letting somebody else do it. Because once you do it yourself, then you're more focused. You stick with it. So being a nurse allows me to educate them to do that. I guess it helps me empower them to empower themselves.
What kind of response do you see when you're in the community giving information or trying to assist people in making health decisions?
They're really happy that I'm there. You know, I go out to the schools and they're like, oh, here comes the nurse. We can ask her. She'll help us. You know, they know that nurses, I guess, means helper, a person that helps and gives them the education or the knowledge that they need. And I appreciate that. So I think they receive me really well. And it's a win-win because I enjoy helping people. I enjoy educating people. So I'm really in the position. I'm really in the one that I really want to be.
Courtney, you're joining the City Public Health Department as a new leader. Tell us about your experience. Tell us about what brought you to this role.
Oh, that's a really good question. My experience so far has been really great. I get to work with really passionate people like Angela, other nurses, other public health professionals. And my calling, I've always felt, has been to be kind of behind the scenes, making sure that all the pieces flow together, doing the work that no one really likes to do, which is the administrative part of it. What brought me to public health is just a passion for health and for people. I've always felt that to whom much is given, much is expected. And I've been extremely blessed with good people in my life, good opportunities. And I want to make sure that others in my community and my city have those same opportunities, those same chances to be healthy.
Let's jump in. Often when we think about health in context of medical care. Public health has helped me to define it differently. So can you, for our audience, talk about what is public health? What does that mean, and why should we be concerned about that?
Public health to me means preventative health. Just because it helps us become more educated, helps us to become more aware of how to help ourselves before we get to the point of being hospitalized, before we get to the point of being diagnosed with diabetes, high blood pressure. It's the beginning point where you see that, okay, if I do these things, I can be healthier and happier. So public health is the entity that gets out into the community and say, listen, this is what you need to do to live longer, to be healthier. These things, you need to work out, you need to exercise, you need to eat right, you need to get more sleep. It's preventative efforts, letting the community know about the preventative interventions before you get to the point where you have to be hospitalized, where medication is needed, where you need more insurance to pay for hospital bills and doctor bills, and medication. So it's the before plan. And if you work that before plan, hopefully your after plan is, easier and better. That's kind of how I see it.
Well, let's use Angela's framework, the before plan. In particular, we know that our community, the City Public Health Department and the County Public Health Department, has identified obesity as a challenge for us. Can you tell a little bit about the statistics of what we're facing and how we need to start addressing that in a preventative or a proactive manner?
In terms of the city and the county, Regional Health Commission has come up with several reports about health in the region. The City of St. Louis Health Department has come up with several reports and does so every 2 years about the health of the city. So in terms of obesity, nobody really dies of obesity. They end up dying of diseases that are caused or highly related to obesity, like heart disease, hypertension, stroke, heart attacks. So we're looking at about 32% of city residents and 31% of county residents who have hypertension, about 35% of city residents and 37% of county residents having high cholesterol, and we're looking at about 27% of all deaths that were reported in 2010 were related to heart disease. So obesity is really taking us down. If people become more concerned about obesity, they can reduce their risk of these things. If they exercise more or even just become more physically active, if they eat more fruits and vegetables instead of high-fat foods, if they decrease their use of alcohol, if they stop using tobacco products, you're more likely to have a healthier life.
Thank you for sharing, laying the foundation. This isn't a topic that's just data and numbers for both of you in particular. Angela, you have had your own experience with being proactive about weight management, thinking about obesity, thinking about your future. Can you share a little bit with our audience about your own personal story and how this data really speaks to your life? What's happening now?
I know I share my story with a lot of people, like one-on-one conversations. So this is the first time talking to a bigger group of people. But I think it is important to share our testimonies and our experiences to help other people. That's why I'm doing this. Always been physically active, always worked out pretty well, managing my weight up and down a little bit. But I got pregnant, like most women do, and I gained a lot of weight. And I was okay with that because I was like, I got this workout plan. I'm going to get back to it. Because unfortunately, in my pregnancy, I wasn't able to work out. It made me sick. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to work out. I started losing weight, and then I was pregnant again. And I couldn't believe it. And so I couldn't work out again. And so I gained more weight on top of the weight I had already gained. And so when I looked at the scale, I was like, I can't remember the number, but it was really, really, really overweight. And it put me in the obese standard for a woman my age and my height. So it was a lot on me because I had 2 little kids that were like 13 months apart. And I worked full time. It was just a lot on me. It caused a lot of stress because I wanted to work out, but I didn't have opportunity. And I knew that me not being healthy would possibly cause me not being there for my kids one day. And that gave me the motivation to get up and do something. So what I did was I made a choice to say, hey, I am going to get healthier. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get healthier. And it's going to be for me and my family. So I didn't have a lot of time. So I would just walk in the hallways on my lunch break or on my 15-minute breaks doing work. And that's how I started. And it was only 15 minutes. It's baby steps. You crawl first, then you walk. And so I did 15 minutes a day. And then I worked it up to having 15 minutes a day. Then I started making healthier choices with my food, being prepared. Like I would make my food at night as I made the baby's bottles at night. I did everything a little by little so it wouldn't stress me out, but I knew I had to do it. And those little steps grew into bigger steps. And then I joined the BFIT program that is offered to St. Louis City employees, which is an awesome program, especially for women like me who don't have time and have little kids to work out. And we have little kids and we want to be healthy. So I started the BFIT program, which is a Zumba I love. And I will tell you this. Do something that you love doing. You will be consistent at it. Eat food that you like eating, but, small portions of it, and you will be consistent at it. If you do things that you like, you will stick with it. And sticking with it, you end up fulfilling your big goals. Set your little goals, and over time, you'll get your big goals. And that's what happened for me. I set these little goals of, I want to get in this shirt again. I want to wear these pants again. And it was these little goals that ultimately helped me get to my biggest goal, which was I lost 100 pounds over time. And that was through the grace of God. I didn't even see the weight loss. People come to me and tell me, and that inspired me. That really inspired me to keep pushing, keep moving. And I started being healthier and moving better with my kids. I was able to run up and down the steps with them, and I felt that difference. And it was just awesome. It was awesome knowing that I can just run with my daughter and my son and not be so out of breath or not experience the fun of being a mother, and a wife. So I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed doing that. I always tell people that do what works for you. Do what works for you. Do one day at a time and make your plan the plan that works for you, not the plan that works for everybody else, because if you do it for you, you will succeed.
A big part of this show, since we're talking to an audience primarily of faith, is to talk about testimonies and to bear witness. And I'm in a special position that I was witness to your transformation. And I remember you being on a phone in a cubicle and still finding a way to stand, finding a hula hoop to twirl, finding a way to be busy, grabbing a weight while talking and working to move your body. It was infectious throughout our entire department where we saw the transformation. You would be walking in the halls while talking on the phone. I mean, it was absolutely inspirational, which is why I asked you to join, because it was powerful and it spread. I also noticed that your goal was not, I want to lose 100 pounds.
No, it wasn't.
What was your initial baby step goal?
My initial goal was to wear this really cute shirt I used to have before I got pregnant. That was my goal. I wanted to be able to fit it again. I wanted to be able to get back into it. And then I had these cute pants that went with the shirt. I'm like, okay, I want to get in those pants. So it wasn't about pounds for me. It was about me feeling good in the clothes that I wore. It was about me being healthier, about me being able to run after my kids, when they ran around. It was me just feeling healthier and happier, because when you work out, you get these happy endorphins and you're happier. And your happiness is infectious. It helps the people that are around you. It really blessed me when I seen a young lady losing weight. And I was like, you look so awesome. You're losing weight. I could tell you look happier and healthier. And she said, you notice me? I'm like, yeah, I know it's everything. And she said, you know what? I just want to let you know you helped me. I watched you lose so much weight, and how that just changed your personality. I mean, it made you just a happier person. Even though you were always happier, I could see it on you. She said, and I decided that if she can do it, I can do it. I said, I never knew that. She said, I know. She said, but the things that you do affect the people around you. And I always have believed that. So that's why I always keep a happy face and keep a happy attitude, because I am blessed to be here. And it's a reason for me to be here. So
and now you're working out your purpose. So Courtney, tell us about your own experience.
Mine is probably very different from Angela. I'm a single person, unmarried, and I'm under 30. And I noticed, I guess I was about 23, 24, that I got diagnosed with hypertension. It runs in my family along with high cholesterol. And I realized I'm 23 and I have high blood pressure. This is crazy. And my family had always been heavy, and I had always known I was kind of bigger. But it really really hit me hard. I remember leaving the doctor's office in tears. I was put on medication. I was in grad school. I was working for a small consulting company at the time, and we were dealing with obesity, childhood obesity. And I felt horrible working with these communities, talking about healthy living and being overweight and having hypertension. It was horrible. Another year passed, and I had been dating someone. We were talking about marriage and kids, and I realized I can't consciously become pregnant or get married and have kids, and I'm overweight because there's all kinds of risks associated with being overweight and pregnant and having hypertension. So I started small steps. I started with Zumba, got a little bit better, started with some harder classes that were a mix of cardio and a lot of weights. My overall goal, I started off with a pound goal. I started with 40 pounds. I need to lose 40 pounds, and then I'll have gone from obese to normal weight categories. But even starting off with a 40-pound goal, I thought to myself, okay, let's just focus on these first 10 pounds. Let's get that down. And slowly but surely changing my diet, focusing on eating fruits and vegetables more than pasta, even though I love pasta, and bread and butter. God, I miss bread and butter. Focusing on that and telling myself it's not about what I'm not eating. I can eat more of fruits and vegetables. Let's focus on how much more I can eat. Trying to play mind games with myself. And then I got to that first 10 pounds, and then it went to 20. And right now I'm at 30 pounds down. And I started 3 years ago, so I've kept it off. I have 10 more to go in terms of poundage, but I've also added goals of, okay, I want to be able to do a pull-up one day, and I want to be able to do this many push-ups. But it's just that focus on those small goals first, those small little things that you can do every day. And it's hard. I can say that some people in my family were very happy about me losing weight and becoming fitter. Some people made the comments of, okay, well, you don't want to lose too much weight. You don't want to lose your curves here or there. But overall, I'm happier. I feel healthier. I feel better. And I just found out I might be taking off one of my hypertension meds. I'll be down to one medication. That's what's keeping me going right now.
Thank you for painting the picture of how this really is a process and a journey over time, and a decision point and another decision and another decision. Lots of choices are in play here. What's the most challenging part of your journey, and how do you address those challenges?
I would say trying to keep the weight off, because lately my husband's job keeps him out of town a lot. And so I'm kind of back to my beginning point of doing everything by myself, where sometimes I can't work out like I want, or I don't make the proper choices of eating, and it can cause you to gain a little bit of weight. But one thing I have learned is live for today, take one day at a time. And I just went back to the basics, set my goals back up, and started doing one thing at a time, and just start walking in the hallways again. I set up a schedule for myself again. And, and I also had a job change where I'm doing the public health nursing for our division now, women, children, adolescent health. And the field is more educating, which I love. That's like my ultimate job. But it was a change for me. I was able to walk in the hallways all the time, and now I'm not. So I just had to make some changes, make some tweaks in my life in order to get back on track, and I tell people all the time that it's not always going to be the same. You're going to hit a plateau where you're not losing weight anymore. You may gain a little weight, and do not beat yourself up. It's okay. Leave the past in the past. You ate that piece of pie. Okay, you ate it. It's over. Push on to the next day. And it can be challenging to really keep the weight off. A lot of people it's challenging to lose, and then it also is another challenge to keep the weight off. So that's why it's not a diet. Diets are restrictive, and they only last from this point to this point. It's healthy lifestyle changes. It's a healthy lifestyle change where that means you're going to do it forever. You're going to have your up and down, but you're going to be constantly changing. And that's what life is. It's never stagnant. It's always changing. I just tell people just to stay focused. Don't beat yourself up. Keep moving and keep changing.
The City Health Department wants to help us as a community to be healthy, be proactive, be fit. What are some of the activities or ways in which we can engage? Courtney, tell us where to go and what to do.
Okay, so one of the big things that we have going right now, the mayor's sustainability plan, his call to action, has included reducing obesity in St. Louis by 5% by 2018, I do believe. And one of the things that we have going is Jump Into Shape. And it's really about registering and encouraging each other, tracking your progress, finding out different resources. So if you just check out jumpintoshape.com and get started, that's one way you can engage. Other things are, just taking those small steps like Angela talked about, thinking about maybe what are some ways throughout your day you can be active, whether it's doing leg lifts at your desk, if on your 15-minute break, if you can walk around your halls. Is it at dinner making that choice of, I'm going to have a smaller portion of chicken and more broccoli or greens or something else? Or is it that I'm going to bake the chicken rather than fry it? It's small things. It's little bitty things. And it's not easy at all. One of the things that people forget about is the environment in which we live. A lot of places don't have access to full-service grocery stores around the city. We know this. A lot of neighborhoods are full of fast food restaurants. So it's much easier to go through McDonald's or KFC, especially when you're working all day and you're tired, you've got 3 kids, got to get them ready for homework and to bed, to do that drive-through rather than cook a meal. So it's also about engaging your community and your older man or woman about what is it about our community that's making us healthy or making us unhealthy. Are we safe? Do I feel like I can walk around my block, or that my kids can play in the playground, or that we can have a full-service Schnucks or Shop and Save or Save a Lot? What is it that we need that will really help us? So helping to engage your neighbors and your politicians, your legislators, and starting that conversation is a huge step.
Actually, the last thing I was going to ask was, is there anything else you've given good direction? Is there anything else that you want to share or to say with the audience that they may need to hear before we go?
I think that if we want to be healthy, we have to be accountable for our own health. And we have to make a decision to live a healthier, happier, and longer life. And in order to do that, we need to make that decision our reality. We need to make healthy lifestyle changes and choices so that we can benefit from those choices in order to manage our weight. I think the buck starts with you.
Courtney and Angela, we want to thank you for sharing your stories, and grateful that you are in the public health department thinking about our community every day is your job and your passion, and it comes through. So we want to thank you for that. Also, for more ways to take control of your weight and start living a healthier life, visit us online at AliveandWellSTL.com for tips on healthy snacks, portion control, and at-home exercises. Please share with us your weight loss story and help inspire others to get healthy just like Angela and Courtney have shared with us today. We'll be back again next week. Thank you for listening, and Happy New Year.
Alive and Well STL. Thank you for joining us today. For resources available, go to aliveandwellstl.com. If you have more questions about the program, need help, or want to connect, please call the message box at 314-333-8369. The Regional Health Commission with Chief Executive Officer Robert Friend Jr. committed to providing a detailed review of change over the past decade and 14 leading health indicators for the City and County of St. Louis. The first decade review of health status report, an update to building a healthier St. Louis. Discover the narrative, the data, and celebrate the progress already made to improve healthcare access and reduce health disparities in our region. Learn more at stlrhc.org. Alive and Well STL is another positive production of RareGem Productions. Thanks for listening.